Welcome to Artificial Evidence, where the algorithm knows and the truth lies just beneath the surface. I'm Owen Carver, and today we're venturing into the rolling hills of rural Pennsylvania in the autumn of 1964. Picture a world of quiet backroads, family-owned diners, and small towns that feel like they have never changed. But beneath the tranquil facade of these communities, sometimes the most sinister stories unfold. This is a story about the quiet town of Brookhaven and the eerie events that forever tied its name to the infamous Blackwell Hill. It starts with a disappearance, a 16-year-old boy named Toby Harper, last seen walking his dog along the wooded path that cuts through the hill. What followed was an investigation riddled with strange occurrences, unexpected revelations, and a chilling truth that left the town in shock. The first signs of trouble came late on a Thursday evening in October. The sun had long set, casting the hill in darkness, save for a pale sliver of moonlight filtering through the trees. A farmer named Edgar Lee found Toby's dog, Buddy, wandering along the dirt road leading to Blackwell Hill. The dog's leash dangled from his collar, and his fur was matted with mud. It was unusual, Edgar thought, for Toby to let the dog roam alone. By morning, when the boy had not returned home, his family reported him missing. The search began immediately, involving nearly everyone in Brookhaven. Men and women combed the woods with flashlights and lanterns, their calls echoing into the night. At first, it seemed like a straightforward case, a teenager lost in the woods. But as hours turned into days, hope began to wane. What they found instead was unsettling. Near the summit of Blackwell Hill, searchers discovered Toby's jacket draped over a low-hanging branch. The fabric was damp and smeared with streaks of red clay. A few feet away, they found his shoe neatly placed in the center of the trail. Then came the most chilling clue: a series of small, hand-carved wooden figures arranged in a circle around the base of an old oak tree. The figures were crudely shaped, but their purpose was unmistakable. They resembled dolls, each with a tiny piece of string tied around its neck. The discovery sent ripples of unease through the town. Blackwell Hill had always carried an air of mystery. Older residents whispered about its history as a site for strange rituals, dating back to the late 1800s, when a group of settlers were rumored to practice an obscure and unsettling form of spiritualism. No one took those tales seriously, until now. As the investigation deepened, local authorities brought in Detective Walter Grayson from Pittsburgh, a man known for his sharp instincts and methodical approach. Grayson quickly dismissed the idea of an accident. The placement of the objects, the state of the boy's belongings, these were not random. Someone had staged the scene. Attention soon turned to a reclusive man named Samuel Drake, who lived in a small cabin on the outskirts of the hill. Samuel was an amateur woodworker with a reputation for being odd. He rarely ventured into town and was known to collect unusual trinkets, animal bones, dried herbs, and old books on folk magic. When the police searched his cabin, they found several carvings similar to those on the hill, as well as a journal filled with cryptic symbols and sketches of Blackwell Hill's terrain. Samuel claimed the carvings were harmless, but his nervous demeanor only fueled suspicions. Then, just as the town braced for an arrest, the case took another twist. Late one night, Edgar Lee, the farmer who had found Toby's dog, was discovered unconscious in his barn. Around him were dozens of similar wooden figures, arranged in the same pattern as those on the hill. A single word had been scrawled in charcoal across the barn's wooden planks: guilty. The incident threw the town into chaos. Had Edgar been involved? Was this some kind of warning? And if so, who was delivering it? As Grayson pieced together the evidence, a new theory emerged, one that suggested the crime was less about Toby and more about the hill itself. Locals began sharing stories they had kept quiet for years: strange lights seen in the woods, disembodied whispers, and a feeling of being watched. Some believed the hill was cursed, a place where the past and present blurred and the missing were never meant to be found. But the truth, as it turned out, was far more chilling than any legend. In a hidden clearing deep in the woods, investigators discovered a network of underground tunnels, likely remnants of the old settlers. Within those tunnels, they found Toby, alive but terrified, bound and surrounded by the same wooden figures. He told a story of being taken by a masked figure and held captive while the person performed strange, ritualistic acts. In the end, Samuel Drake was arrested for his involvement, though he never admitted to acting alone. Toby's return brought relief, but the discovery of the tunnels and the lingering questions about the hill's history ensured that the mystery of Blackwell Hill would never truly fade. And that concludes today's journey into the shadows of Blackwell Hill. Thank you for joining me as we uncovered the chilling events that forever changed the quiet town of Brookhaven. Stories like these remind us that the line between folklore and reality is often thinner than we imagine. If you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to share it with others who enjoy diving into the mysteries that shape our world. Remember, the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered, and as always, the algorithm knows. Until next time, I am Owen Carver. Stay curious and take care.